Hello and welcome to the Awesome Dynamics Show. Today we have a little bit different format for our webinar. It's called a roundtable, and we have some of our top Amazon experts here, our specialists, to chat about some of the Amazon news of the day. And although that's basically going to be a little bit more of a free-form format for us today, we always encourage you to ask us questions about your specific Amazon problems, issues, or anything else that might have come up. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into our first topic of today. But I do want to mention, if you are joining us live, you can click on the right-hand side and ask us specific questions. And at the appropriate time, we'll go ahead and answer any questions that you might have. So please keep that in mind as we get started. Phil, would you like to tell us what our first topic is for today?
Well, I sure would. I sure would. And I'd like to just identify that Paul, thank you very much. Paul is our president, visionary, and our fearless leader of Awesome Dynamic. And also joining us and you today is Tim, our guru and our man on the mountaintop for all things Amazon, as well as a lot of other hats that he wears here for us at Awesome Dynamic. And we have Blake with us. Blake Tintori is an entrepreneur extraordinaire and an Amazon specialist who we at Awesome Dynamic feel is just beyond special. And I'm Phil Verston. I'm the marketing manager for Awesome Dynamic, and I'm an all-around good guy. So with that, gents and the people who are joining us, we thank you. And here are some discussion on some points related to Amazon, just sort of starting off with last month, there was a blog from a self-labeled shopping addict named Kathy Williams, and her blog title, the article was How to Beat Amazon Prime Prices. And the article goes on to talk about cost-saving options over Amazon, but it got us to wondering whether or not, are there online shopping alternatives such as a Wiki-Buy that is a better cost savings option for when you don't need something necessarily in 2 days? So I thought, well, Paul, do you want to lead off on the discussion with that? Is that a good option?
Well, yeah, there's definitely a lot of folks that I've talked to. In fact, where I'm at here in Fort Myers, there's a place called the Shell Factory up the road. I was asking them, do you sell on Amazon? Just like I ask everyone on a daily basis when I interact with folks. And they said no, but it seems like everything on Amazon's more expensive than it is at the local grocery store. And some cases that might be true. Some cases it might not be. But I think the theme of this particular article is just going into if you don't need it in 2 days, why buy from Amazon? And I could tell you why. I have a story specifically that I'd like to tell about this one, and it's specifically about how I get my dog food. So I have two larger dogs, boxers, and I have one smaller dog, a miniature dachshund. Of course, the little miniature dachshund doesn't eat too much, but the two bigger dogs require a 50-pound bag of food every couple weeks or so. In order to get that 50-pound bag of food, I could use Wiki-Buy to find the best price online or best price locally to get that food. But even if I go local, in that case, I would have to obviously get into my car, drive to the pet food store, walk into the pet food store, find the bag, lift up the bag, bring the bag to the front counter, hold on to it till I can place it on the counter, or maybe I put it down and drag it along. Then I have to bring that bag, put it back into my car trunk, drive back home, take the bag out, drag the bag inside, and then finally it's in my house. Or for $5 extra, I can just buy the bag on Amazon and it shows up at my door, and I spent 2 minutes or less doing so, and I spent $5 extra. So for me, I'm a very conscious of what is my time worth, and that's where a lot of folks that are kind of skeptical. Okay, well, a lot of stuff's more expensive on Amazon. A lot of those shoppers are kind of keen on the idea that my time is worth a lot more than going out and getting the best deal all the time. If you are able to utilize that time to do something to be more effective, or your highest best value of your time, instead of spending your time trying to get the best deal all the time, that can be a mentality that a lot of shoppers have, like myself. So that's something that I wanted to jump into as my initial reaction to this. A lot of folks just like the stuff showing up on their doorstep, and even if it's not Amazon Prime, if you're not a Prime member at all, and the products are in FBA, then you can also get the free Super Saver shipping, which comes in 3 to 5 days. Again, you're still paying maybe a higher rate, but it just shows up at the door, and you didn't have to pay anything extra for it. So just a different way to think about it. it, and the theme of this particular webinar is to really think about it from the seller's perspective on Amazon. So I like to kind of bring that into the focus here and say that, you know, as a seller, even though you might have a higher price than other folks, if you have it in the Amazon warehouse or FBA and it's Prime, there are a lot of people out there that really value that service. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I'm sure that Tim and Blake have some ideas on this.
Yeah, I was gonna say the big thing that I really took away from this particular article is just, you know, people always kind of think to themselves, with all the benefits that you could potentially get from being a Prime customer, is it really worth it with $100 a year? And you know, I think that so many people sign up for Prime not just because of the free 2-day shipping, but because of all the other benefits you now get, because you get access to a lot of movies, TV shows. They have great customer service whenever you buy something through Amazon. And I think that a lot of people just end up defaulting to using Amazon to do some of their shopping or a lot of their shopping. And it's just a convenience factor of not having to do that price hunting. I think that a lot of buyers are just, quite frankly, lazy and don't want to do the comparison shopping that used to be done a lot before Prime became very big and relevant. So I think that, yeah, it's still such a big value proposition. It's just so easy. You know, it's just 1 or 2 clicks with the Amazon Echo taking off as big as it is with Alexa, where you can just order things. You got the Amazon Dash buttons where, you know, you can just push a button and then get, you know, your replacement paper towels shipped to your door. It's just, you know, it's just part of that bigger ecosystem that I just don't think, you know, is going to go away anytime soon. So even though there are less expensive options, I think that a lot of consumers really do see the benefit in it. And this is, you know, your average consumer is not going to be as knowledgeable or as savvy as what I think a lot of people that this particular article is necessarily targeted at.
Blake, I'm sure you have some comments on this too. The one thing that the article did say was that a lot of people are addicted to Prime, and they're addicted to that instant gratification, getting something in 2 days. So, Blake, what is your reaction to this article?
It's mostly a convenience reaction. I use Amazon at home primarily for things that don't require an enormous amount of traffic and frustration. Other things I enjoy shopping for, going for, I won't order it on Amazon. But I recently came back from Slovakia and I had to borrow 40 euros from a friend of mine before I left. And I had just lost my debit card. It got changed from MasterCard to Visa, so it had been disabled over in Europe. And being back here, I wanted to order her a couple things to repay her. She offered it for free, but I wanted to repay her. And I had never ordered anything and didn't even know that my Amazon account was linked to all the other Amazon accounts in Europe. So I could just log into Amazon Germany. I ordered her things. All my credit cards and debit cards were still in the system. I could change the language to English, purchase her all kinds of things. Prime was not, even though I have Prime in US, it was not activated in Germany, but I still was able to get free shipping because I had passed the $50 mark. It's the same over there. And it was incredibly convenient because I was not able to ship like 4 of the 5 items from the United States, no matter how I tried. It was just not possible for international shipping on most of the things I wanted to get her. But with Germany, it was, and the convenience factor was incredible. And I logged into Amazon Italy just to see if it had a perfume she wanted. And same login, credit cards worked there. And this is about a 2-week delivery time. She got things in 7 days. So great service, came from Germany all the way to Slovakia. I mean, that's convenience. If I've ever, I mean, we're talking, you know, planetary shipping with one login and password. It's incredible. So it's tough to beat for that convenience factor.
Yeah, so and that's a great perspective, Blake. Yeah, there's just so many different conveniences shopping on Amazon. They are the world's leading online retailer and the most trusted online retailer in the world. And if you can, yeah, just some of these benefits alone really make it super convenient. Now, we do have another article, and Tim kind of dove into that one a little bit, but I want to pause here for a moment and just say if any of the folks that are attending today have any specific questions about Amazon, please post those questions in the chat. We'd love to take a break between articles and answer any questions that you might have. So if you go ahead and post those, we'll take a look and bring those up right here live on the webinar. So let's get back to Phil. Phil, tell us about the next article. Tim kind of touched on a little bit, but tell us what that next article is about.
Yeah, there may be a little bit more here to explore as far as Amazon Prime is concerned. And that just this week, an article ran on the Motley Fool, which is an investor-related website. It's for investors. And most people are familiar with it. But the title of the article was, is Amazon Prime worth $99 a year? So, I mean, what do you think, guys? Is that's the core offering, and is that free 2-day shipping? Of course, is that enough? Is that going to be enough for most people? Is it worth $99 for 2 days?
If you're efficient with your time and know when you run out of things, I think yes. And for me, the convenience is still worth the $100 for me too, knowing that I have a platform that just supports a lot of these minor conveniences, I guess, pooled into one big bucket. So I guess yes on both ends of your question.
What I was thinking on this one is, it's free 2-day shipping. There's some markets that are already in the free 1-day shipping. We have one employee that's out of Austin, Texas, that enjoys free 1-day shipping on many products, and even can pay an extra few bucks to get same-day shipping. And stuff shows up at his apartment in just a few hours from ordering on Amazon. Other things that are coming as part of the Prime program, I think some of us have seen the drone delivery stuff. That's something that Jeff Bezos takes very seriously, and he's going to be pushing. I know they just did a trial in Europe recently on that. I think it was in the UK, but that's something that's coming. They're going to push feverishly towards actually making that a reality. It's not just a flighty idea out there. Technology is changing rapidly. Plus, there's also a program, I don't recall the name of it off the top of my head. I think it's like Amazon Rush or something like that. It's an Uber style system where just regular folks can sign up on the app and say, I want to deliver packages for a few hours today. And the app tells them where to go to pick up the packages. Then they go pick them up, drop them off at people's houses, report it all in their little app. They drive around just like Uber drivers, delivering packages to really expedite the network of delivery people that they have, versus just using the traditional delivery systems that are out there, the carriers like UPS, USPS, FedEx, and beyond. So there's a lot more coming. Tim mentioned what was it, the video. There's also Amazon Music that's part of it. They're offering a lot of, the Dash program that's there, the Subscribe and Save program. There's so many different programs that are part of this whole Prime phenomena that is getting better and better as time moves forward. Tim, I'm sure you have some additional comments on that. What do you think?
Yeah, so I mean, some of the other, Prime exclusive things that are, kind of in the pipeline are already here. Amazon Fresh. Amazon is starting to open up these stores, these Amazon stores, physical locations where you can go in and buy, products from there. And I bet you if you have your Prime membership, you probably get something exclusive, or you get some kind of benefit from that. Yeah, I mean, it's just more and more. Amazon's just pumping more and more into these benefits of being a Prime member. Another thing is original content. So, we touched a little bit on the movies and the videos that you can now watch through Amazon Prime Video. And Amazon even is investing, much like Netflix is, in creating original content that is only available on their platform. So, Amazon is always sweetening the deal in terms of what you can get with your Prime membership. And, for that $100 a year, which is, about what, $8 a month or somewhere around there, $8, so $8, $9. It's very much a huge benefit. And I think it certainly is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, the one, what was that one show that was on what, BBC, that
Oh
now
yeah,
Amazon
the
put it up?
Grand Tour. So if anyone watched Top Gear, the BBC show Top Gear, basically Amazon uh, got the exclusive rights, and they hired the three guys who were the ones that did Top Gear, and they created a new show called The Grand Tour, which I'm a fan of. I love watching it, and they come out with it every Friday.
Great.
And yeah, it just is another reason why the Prime program is so beneficial, is because they get great talents like that to make these shows, much like Netflix does. I mean, I read an article even this morning about Netflix. You know, they dropped a lot of traditional movies and TV shows, and a lot of those contracts expired last year. But Netflix has such great original content that they still see their subscriber numbers improving. And the fact that Amazon is doing something similar with a lot of great original content, plus the ability to be able to buy, let's say, TV shows or movies or anything else like that they have available through their digital library. It's just a one-stop shop for everything. Amazon's posed to take over the world with this, I think. So it's pretty incredible.
We'll see. Who's the main character on that show, Tim?
Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond.
I think Jeremy Clarkson did a video for the Prime Now with the drones. I'll try and dig up that video. Blake, do you have some additional comments on this?
$50 student Prime.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You get a discount if you're students.
Tell us more about that, Blake.
Any EDU you sign up with, you can get $50 a year if the email remains active. So all you students out there, and past students, dig up your EDUs and use it for half off.
I can see if I can dig up that video really quick here.
Darn it! I was a student before I didn't have any EDUs. That all came after.
There you go. I found the video if we want to take a quick look at that.
Yeah, go ahead and put that up.
It's like Monty Python for car enthusiasts, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great show. I love it. All right, here we go. Let's take a quick look at this. Oops, sorry. Give me 1 second here.
This is a story from the not too distant future. It's the day of your daughter Millie's big football match, and to be clear, that is the sort of football you play with your feet. Anyway, she is missing a vital piece of equipment, specifically a size 3 Puma Evo Power firm ground soccer shoe, the left one. And some of it, sadly, is in the family's 3-year-old bulldog, Stuart. So now what? Well, you could yell angrily at the poor thing, but what's the point? Because all it will hear is blah, 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 Stuart, blah, blah, Stuart, blah. Much better to behave like a rational human being. Find your tablet and place an order with Amazon for a pair of Puma Evo Power firm ground soccer shoes and have them delivered in 30 minutes or less. And in a location not too far away, a miracle of modern technology is dispatched. It's an Amazon drone, and after rising vertically like a helicopter to nearly 400 feet, this amazing hybrid design assumes a horizontal orientation and becomes a streamlined and fast airplane. In time, there'll be a whole family of Amazon drones, different designs for different environments. This one can fly for 15 miles. And it knows what's happening around it. It uses sense and avoid technology to, well, sense and then avoid obstacles on the ground and in the air. Back at the house, you're getting a message on your tablet to say that your Prime Air delivery is arriving. And it goes back to vertical mode and scans the landing area for potential hazards. This amazing innovation then lowers itself slowly to the ground, drops off the package, and flies straight back up to altitude. And moments later, you're walking through the door with a brand new pair of Puma Evo Power firm ground soccer shoes, size 3 for Millie, and a Nylabone chicken flavoured Durachew for naughty, naughty Stuart. And balance is restored to the universe.
Yeah, I wonder if there was another article that I saw that had to do with Amazon trying to work with the FCC to set aside a certain frequency of the broadcast spectrum. Maybe that was so they could communicate and control these zones and to do all the kinds of things where they're scanning that landing space and so on and so forth.
I heard something about how they're trying to designate a certain range of altitude for drone traffic, and that Amazon's really pushing that initiative to define that zone with the what's the name of the organization? The flight organization that was the FAA. Yeah, yeah. So that's I heard that they're really trying to push for that zone, traffic zone for drones. Anyhow, yeah, very interesting. That these are the innovations that Amazon is bringing to how they deliver. Yeah, this year I think there was an announcement, another article that we saw that they're planning to hire 100,000 employees this year. So they're obviously expanding. There's a lot changing in the landscape, and you could as a seller, I always tell people, a lot of the folks that we consult, you can choose to be on the Amazon train or try and combat against it. One thing that I know a lot of local business because we do a lot of business with local businesses, and we have several chamber memberships. And I do hear a lot of local business owners talking about how they're frustrated with Amazon taking business away from the local economy. Where I look at it as, well, if you adapt and change your business model to work within how the world is changing in technology and business, you can turn your retail store outlet into a packing and shipping station. You have all sorts of contacts and ways to get your products from distributors and manufacturers, and you bring it into your store. Why not turn the back end of your store into an Amazon business and just get in and find opportunities at Amazon? And instead of having your target audience just being your local community, you have your local community plus the rest of the world. Why couldn't you do that? And that's where a lot of folks are just really focused on and have their blinders on. This is the way business has always been done in my local community. Well, the world's changing very fast, and the way to keep up. And if you don't evolve and adapt, you're not going to survive in this fast changing world of technology. So, with that being said, didn't know if you guys had any additional comments on any of that before we move on to the next one. Tim, Blake, Phil.
I'm good.
Nope.
All right, Phil. What do we got next?
Well, just to wrap things up here with these last two articles, they actually conflict. They kind of contrast each other. I mean, they were both within the last couple of weeks. One from zonblast.com, which asked the question of whether Amazon is shorting us with their enhanced brand content. And then the other one, which was a week later, and that was on cpcstrategy.com, and it was entitled Enhanced Brand Content Improves Conversion Rate for Polaris Optics. And the big question is that, in the first article, they raised the question of whether or not enhanced brand content makes a listing, beneficial for conversion rates. I mean, they say, yeah, sure, it makes it look prettier and everything else, but yeah, it's the EBC is not indexed, and therefore there's no hard and fast evidence out there that they're aware of where it's beneficial for conversion rates. On the other hand, the article that followed a week later from CPC said that they had, in fact, on one of their own clients, had run a 25-day before and after analysis and discovered that the conversion rate for that particular SKU of that item outperformed the remainder of the entire catalog by 8%. So I don't know. What do you think? What is it, guys? Which way is it going there?
Well, I gotta say that this is something that's very exciting. This enhanced brand content for the Seller Central platform. It's something that I believe just launched July of 2016. Not a lot of folks were able to get in it right away. It was something that they kind of rolled out depending on how much volume of traffic you were doing, and it was only rolled out to folks that actually have brand registry. But if you are selling through the vendor central side of Amazon, similar program that offers a few different benefits in this enhanced brand content is called A+ content. So essentially, for those that don't understand what either one of them is, when you go to a page, a product detail page on Amazon, and you scroll down, and there's a whole bunch more stuff about the product that you don't normally see on other listings. You know, pictures, descriptions, you know, comparison charts, and all this other stuff. That's usually, you know, your A plus or enhanced brand content. And that is really what's what the question here is, and the debate between these two articles. Does it make a difference? And I think one aspect of this is, if there is, let's say, a higher priced item and somebody is doing their due diligence, not necessarily price shopping, but more or less comparing to make sure, you know, several different products to make sure that they're going to be happy with their final purchase, and they want to go on more than just the reviews of the product. So they want to really dive into, you know, is yes, I was, for example, shopping for a carpet cleaner. So I was spending 150, 200 bucks, and I wasn't just buying a, you know, a tumbler here for water that's 10 bucks. I was spending 150 bucks. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to spend, you know, 15 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes looking at some of the different options out there. It was nice to be able to have that additional content, because I get to explore some of the different features of the product that the typical, you know, 8 pictures in the top left, if they even have them there, or those 5 bullet points, or that short couple paragraph description, really didn't get into the details of, well, how do the beater bars work? Is there an attachment that is able to do upholstery better than others? Is there a way to turn on and off the soap from being used on the tank for the carpet cleaner? So those are some of the different things that I had discovered I wanted to learn about the products, but it's hard to really expound upon some of that information in the tiny area that a typical listing has, where in this enhanced brand content, you can start highlighting all sorts of different features. I can think of a couple clients that have some really cool products, and some of their company history is really important to them, and why they got to the point where they, you know, I'm trying to, what invigorated their passion, what was the source of why they started their business, and it's a really cool story on a couple of their different products, and that's something that you don't really have enough room for, or it's even appropriate to put in that top section of the product listing, but it's something you can dive down for somebody who's really looking to learn more about the product. So those are a couple ideas. I think, you know, does it help enhance the product listing? I think for the customer that really is diving into more information, it can make a big difference. But for less expensive products where people are just making instant buying decisions, I think that maybe those types of products, maybe not so much. But I'll go ahead and open up to the floor, or open the floor up to whomever to comment on that as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Paul, that the one biggest downside to this whole enhanced brand content is the fact that it's just not indexed by Amazon's search algorithm, and this effectively replaces your traditional description. In fact, if you have a lot of keywords in your description and you decide to use enhanced brand content to put the new description field up there, then you might lose a lot of the index words, and you might not have enough room in your title, bullet points, and your backend keywords to be able to include all the words that you want to make sure you rank for. So that's a really, really big downside that I think is important that people are aware of if they decide to do enhanced brand content. I think it would probably be really very much worth it when and if they start introducing other options, like the ability to be able to add videos to listings. I know so many customers who, you know, it's just sometimes really hard to convey through just photos how a particular product works. Even through the enhanced brand content, they might be able to do better, but sometimes some products really require some kind of demonstration video or some kind of explanation video. I think video is a very powerful medium to be able to convey an idea or convey information to people who are looking to buy your product.
Blake, any thoughts on that? You said, I know you had mentioned prior to the webinar that you had some thoughts on this topic. You're on mute, by the way. There you go.
Well, I was looking up what Tim said of it replacing your product description because I wasn't fully sure on that. And it looks like enhanced brand content is it says it's additional information. So it looks like you could still have text and rank for some keywords, but traditional A plus content you typically get from the manufacturer section, which is not product description. It's a whole nother section that gets added as almost like a special ability, and you still get the whole product description section. But enhanced brand content does not. It's interesting because if you use Amazon mobile on your Android or iPhone, product descriptions get showed, but not from the manufacturer. So A plus content generally was never shown even on mobile devices. Even if you dug, it was not shown. So my thinking here is enhanced brand content wasn't going to show for mobile purchasers, which is a huge chunk, kind of narrowing down enhanced brand content for mostly desktop or maybe tablet shoppers who go through an actual browser where they'll get to see the A plus content. So now I'm curious because I don't know the answer if enhanced brand content, because it's actual in the product description, will show on mobile in terms of images and not just text, because if you look on mobile, you only see text. So it's very interesting. But I think it's a positive thing no matter what, except for if it really if you can't fill enough of your keyword bank in space with what you lose between your bullets and your title left over from scrapping. I just don't know if you genuinely have to scrap all of your text in the product description. It looks like it's just additional. So it looks like you can still have text.
All right. Yeah, Blake, while you were talking about that, I actually pulled up the Amazon enhanced brand content FAQ page, and it does say, does the current product description remain on the ASIN after adding enhanced brand content? No, the EBC page will suppress the current plain text product description. So that is it right from Amazon. That unfortunately, it does get rid of your product description.
So it seems that in the A plus format, it does not, but in the enhanced
Right.
brand content that it does. And Tim, where did you find that about it not indexing that content?
That was from the article that we had earlier. The one from is Amazon shorting us on enhanced brand content. So,
Okay.
yeah, they talk about the good, the bad, and then the ugly. Now let's talk about the real issue. The most glaring problem is enhanced brand content is not indexed. So they have anecdotal evidence to show that, hey, this phrase or whatever it is that's inside of the product description did not result in that product being found when looking for it on Amazon. So, and they have multiple examples of that.
Right. But even in that particular case, I've seen even using a particular phrase in a description, in a title, or in the bullet points, or even the keywords in the back end of a product listing, and you type them in and it's still not coming up. That can happen regardless of whether or not you're using enhanced brand content or not. So I kind of find that suspect, but we'll see. I think what Phil was saying is they were trying to do a 25-day before and after test, but that also can be kind of, I look at it, okay, well, is it a seasonal item? What were some of the external influences, in the time frame of January? Usually that's when a lot of people are spending their gift card money versus the period before where it's holidays. So there's a lot of factors that can go into sales trending. So I would like to see a test with many more products to see whether or not the evaluation is true before we just take a look at one sample. I think multiple samples would be appropriate to measure these sorts of things, and even having a control group, of course.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I think that wraps up our different topics here. Again, just want to let everyone know that if you have any questions, you can join us on Thursdays. We're going to do more of these roundtable style webinars in more of a roundtable style rather than the presentation style that we've been doing lately. We're going to mix it up. We're going to mix it up different times. But you're always welcome to come to the webinar and ask us your specific questions on anything that you might have pertaining to how to do something on Amazon, a problem that you have with your Amazon account, different ideas of things that you might want to do. We're here to help you during this time with any sort of questions that you might have. With that being said, I want to quickly jump over to our website so you can take a look at awesomedynamic.com. We do website design, search engine optimization, and Amazon consulting, of course. Amazon consulting is the fastest growing portion of our business. If you want to get a hold of us to have us help you out, we have full service plans. We have on-demand plans. So no matter if your business is very large or very small, we have a package that can fit you to get your goals accomplished. We do training to show you how to do what we do, and like I said, we can take over everything for you. But head over to our Amazon page. We got tons of great resources. We have lots of webinars that explain specific topics in great detail. You can look at all of our past webinars by clicking the webinar link at the top of the page. You can go to our blog section, look at some great blogs that have videos and detailed information on a whole bunch of different topics related to Amazon and SEO. You can see over there on the left, you can join our awesome list to get on our email list to get notified for any great content that we're sending out. We don't advertise when we get you on our email list. We send you great information that's going to help you. We're really passionate about that. Also, if you really enjoyed this webinar, I'd love you to go down to the bottom of our website here. There is a Review Us button. Love you to click on that Review Us button and click that thumbs up because we're awesome, of course, and leave us a 5-star review on either Google or Facebook. We really appreciate that from you. And with that being said, if you want to get a hold of us, Terry Levin, our Director of Sales, you can get a hold of him by either clicking that free quote button at the top, which will bring you to a form that you can then fill out. And Terry usually gets back to you most times within an hour. Sometimes it might be a few more hours, but he's really Johnny on the spot with getting back to folks. Or just give us a call. Call 800-238-1811. That's 800-238-1811. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next week, Thursday, 12:30 Central. Ciao.
Thanks.
Adios.